in this new year. I wish you all a very, very happy new year. I hope you all enjoy your Christmas and New Year and you are ready to listen our class. After long days we are meeting in this new year. So a few seconds. Think of your God and pray to Him that He should lead us throughout this year with peace, health and happiness. Shall we? Okay, come on, let's pray. How to pray in silence. Okay, shall we start? Yeah. From the beginning till today, we have learned many headings in our unit. But we all forget that, right? How many of you remember all the chapters or all the headings we have learned till now? Nobody, right? So, now in this new year, what we are going to do is we are going to recall all the things what we have learned in the last classes. From the first class to last class, what we have learned, we are going to have a revision. So, can you remember what is your first unit? How many of you remember what is your first unit? We started with matter and its composition. Now, how many of you can remember this sentence? Matter and its composition. Yeah, from that, first we have learned what's the matter. What's the matter? Anything that has mass, occupies some space or called matter. Matter, or it is very basic. What all the things we see in this world has, it's a matter. So, then the next one is composition of matter. What is the composition of matter? In composition of matter, we have learned that the matter can be divided into pure substance and impure substances, and the impure substances can be divided into elements or compounds. And you know the properties of this pure and impure substances. Pure substances will be made of same type of atoms, whereas impure substances are different atom, but it is physically mixed, not chemically combined. Next is elements. Elements are the basic unit, the elements of made of atoms. For example, hydrogen is made of hydrogen atom, oxygen can be made of oxygen atom, nitrogen is made of nitrogen atom. Like that, elements are made of atoms. Then the next one is compounds. Compounds means it's a combination of atoms. Consider carbon and oxygen combines to form a compound. In this, you have molecule also. Elements are made of atom. When two elements, think it is an atom. When two atoms of hydrogen combine, it forms hydrogen molecule. Two atoms of hydrogen combines to form hydrogen molecule. Then compounds, two same type of elements or different types of elements combines to form a molecule. Compound. Example for compound, carbon dioxide, water molecule, nitrogen dioxide, etc. Next one is forces that keeps constituents of matter together. Generally, we learn these matters in three types. What are they? Solid, liquid and gases. Two more types are there, plasma and BEC. This plasma occurs in high temperature and this BEC occurs in very low temperature. But we have detailed study or detailed explanation about only these three types. They are solid, liquid and gases. You all know that. What's solid? It has a definite size and shape and it has a mass. For example, book, chair. These are all solid substances. Then liquid. Liquid does not have a shape or it has a volume, but it takes the shape of the container in which it is poured. When you pour it in a glass, it takes the shape of the glass. Like that, it takes the shape of the container in which it is poured. For example, liquid example, water, oil, juice, all liquids. Then gas. Gas is state, we all know, maximum we cannot see this gases. Example, air, then carbon dioxide, oxygen, these are all gases. So, clear about what is this solid, liquid and gas. Next is interconversion of matter. You all know what is conversion. Consider the three states of matter. This can be interconverted. For example, solid can be changed into gas, gas can be changed into liquid, liquid can be changed into solid. This is interconversion, converting from one state of matter to other state of matter. This includes some processes. We can learn about that processes. Consider changing from solid to liquid. How we can change solid to liquid? Using melting. Then liquid to solid using freezing. Then solid to gas using sublimation. And gas to solid using deposition. Then liquid to gas using condensation and liquid to gas using evaporation and gas to liquid using condensation. Now, you are going to learn about 4 words that are interparticular space, interparticular force, Brownian motion and diffusion. These 4 properties are related to this states of matter. Consider this space. What is interparticular space? This is consider this is an atom. It has particles. The space between the two atoms are called interparticular space. Then the force. Consider for solids it is very less, right? Spaces for liquid it is little. But solids it is the space is more. Then the force of attraction. Here in this the force interparticular force means the force used to bind this atom. Consider solids, they are tightly packed. So the force is high, so they are tightly packed. This is medium, then it is loosely packed. So the force will be very less in this gases. Then Brownian motion. The movement of atoms inside this matter is called Brownian motion. Then the last one is diffusion. Intermixing of these particles is called nothing but the diffusion. This diffusion and Brownian movement will be high in this gases because they are loosely packed. They can easily move and they can in this other particles can easily enter because the space is available. So diffusion and Brownian motion are high in gases. You got clear idea about this interconversion of matter? Then they have given about the difference between solid, liquid and gases. First one is volume. Solid has definite volume, liquid has definite volume, but the gases has no definite volume. Then about the interparticular force of attraction. It will be more in solids, less in solids, but it will be more in liquids. It will be less than solids and more than gases, and in liquids the force will be very less. Then in the particular spaces it will be less in solids, medium in liquids, and it will be very high in gases. Then Brownian motion is negligible in solids, considerable in liquids, and it is very high in gases. Compressibility. Solids cannot be compressed, liquids can be compressed a little, but gases can be easily compressed. Flow. Solids cannot flow, liquids can flow, but liquids can flow only from high to lower level. But gases can flow in every possible direction. Then free space. More than one free surfaces, no free surfaces. Gases has no free surfaces. So you are clear about this solid, liquid and gases, right? Shall we move on to the next unit? So in the first unit we have learned about matter, its composition, elements, compounds and the force of attraction and the three states of matter, and we entered with the difference between the three states of matter. Now we can come to second unit. What's our second unit? Very interesting topic, right? It is physical and chemical changes. What is a change? Can you remember what is a change? That is, change means transforming from one form to another form is called a change. What is a change? Transforming from one form to another form is called a change. Now we have learned about many types of changes. What are the types of changes we have learned? That they are natural and man-made changes. What's a natural change? Occurs by nature. For example, growth of a plant. Man-made change. What is a man-made change? Man's activity is needed for that change. That particular change is called man-made change. For example, we can say in parks we will have many animals. They will be constructed, or they will create the shapes of the animals in grasses by cutting the grasses. That is an example for man-made change. Then slow change and fast change. What is a slow change? From the name even you can say. Slow change occurs very slowly and fast change occurs fastly. Slow change example, rusting of iron. Fast change example, burning of a paper, tearing of a paper. Then periodic and non-periodic change. Periodic changes, we know that it will occur within a particular interval. For example, sunset. Today evening it will occur. We all know that tomorrow evening it will happen. So, when a change occurs within a particular interval, they are called periodic change. And what about non-periodic change? We don't know when it will happen. So, it won't be having a regular interval of time. For example, volcano eruption, rain, thunder, these are the examples of non-periodic change. Then the last one is, fourth one is physical and chemical change. As we all know, in physical change only the physical properties varies and the chemical composition of the substance will not vary. Whereas in chemical change, the chemical composition of the substance also varies. Then the next one is desirable and undesirable change. Desirable changes will be useful for human beings. When the change is useful for human being, they are called desirable change. Desirable change example, curdling of milk. When the milk turns into curd, it is useful for us, right? Whereas the undesirable change, it won't be useful for human. For example, we can say volcano eruption, whether it is useful for us, it is harmful for us. So, it is a undesirable change. Then the sixth one is reversible and irreversible change. We all know that. What is the reversible change? When the reactant can be obtained from the product, it is called reversible change. For example, melting of ice. First you have to take the liquid. When you keep it in the freezer, we can get the ice. Again, when you keep this ice in the room temperature, we can get back this liquid. It is an example for reversible change. Irreversible change. We cannot get that reactants back. For example, tearing of a paper. You tear the paper, can you get the same paper back? No. Burning of a paper. These are all examples of irreversible change. Exothermic and endothermic change. Exo means the heat energy will be evolved during the change, and endo means the heat energy will be absorbed during the change. Exothermic example, burning of paper. Endothermic example, cooking of food. When we cook a food, the heat energy is absorbed and the food is being cooked. So clear about this changes, natural and man-made, slow, fast, periodic, non-periodic, physical and chemical, desirable, undesirable, reversible, irreversible, exothermic and endothermic changes. Now we can learn in detail about this physical and chemical changes. We all know what is a physical change, right? The chemical composition of the substance will not vary, whereas the physical composition or the physical properties varies. Here are some changes given. The first one is evaporation. Evaporation means the liquid state changes to gaseous state. Some factors affecting evaporation are temperature. When we increase the temperature, evaporation rate also will increase. Then moisture. When you increase the moisture content, the evaporation rate decreases. Then when you increase the surface area, the evaporation increases. And last, the air, movement of air. For example, when you consider drying of a cloth, you have to dry a cloth, you have put it outside. When temperature increases, it will dry fastly. Evaporation increases. When the moisture increases, when you pour some water in that, the evaporation decreases. Then when you increase the surface area, when you spread that cloth to large area, it will dry fast. So when the surface area increases, the evaporation increases, and at last the movement of air. When the movement of air increases, the evaporation also increases. Boiling. Boiling is also changing from liquid state to gaseous state. Boiling means you have to take a liquid, you have to heat it. When it attains a particular temperature called its boiling point, it will start evaporating. That is called boiling. Then condensation is changing gaseous state to liquid state by cooling. That is, we have clouds. When these clouds undergo cooling, it will change into rain. Clouds is gas. When it is cooled by some cool air, it will change into rain. So condensation means changing from gaseous state to liquid state by cooling. Then freezing. We all know what is freezing. Changing from liquid state to solid state. You have to take a liquid and keep it in the freezer. You can get solid ice pieces. So that is freezing. Melting, reverse of this. Solid state to liquid state. When you keep this ice pieces outside in room temperature, it will change into liquid. Then the sublimation. We have learned, can you remember the sublimation of ammonium chloride? That is, you have to take the solid, but directly it has to be changed into gas. Without changing it into liquid, solid should be directly changed into gas. It is called sublimation. The last it is dissolving. Dissolving means you have to obtain a solution. That is, you have to take a solute and put it in the solvent and mix it, and you have to get solution. It is called dissolving. We can say any state, solid or gas or liquid, you have to change into a solution is called dissolving. So clear about this physical changes. What are they? Evaporation, boiling, condensation, freezing, melting, sublimation and dissolving. Then we can move to chemical changes. Some chemical changes are given. Cooking. What is cooking? In cooking, the chemical properties of the substance changes. So cooking is a chemical change. Then digestion. Digestion means we are eating the food and it is changing into energy, glucose, example. So the chemical composition of the substance changes. The hydrochloric acid in the stomach will break down this food and it will change into glucose and fatty acids like this. It is changing into other substances. Its chemical composition changes. So it is a chemical change. Then burning. Burning can also be a chemical change. Consider you have a wood. You are burning that. What is evolved? Carbon dioxide is evolved from that wood during burning. So it is producing some new substances with different chemical composition. So it comes under chemical change. Then the next one is respiration. Respiration also we are taking in oxygen. It is undergoing some changes and oxygen is taken by our body and carbon dioxide is evolved out. So it is also undergoing some chemical changes. The oxygen is entering inside and we are getting out the carbon dioxide. So some chemical process is going in during respiration. It comes under chemical change. Then curdling. You are having milk. Milk will be in white color. it will be in some particular taste. But consider when it is changing into curd, what happens? Its taste changes, its nature changes, especially its taste changes, right? So it comes under the chemical change. Then fermentation. Fermentation means you have some flour, that is for idli or dosa. When you grind the flour, it will be of one nature. After one day, next day morning when you are cooking that, it will be of some other taste. So the chemical composition of that flour changes. So it comes under chemical change. The last one is rusting of iron. When you construct the house, the iron will be of good look, right? When you leave it for 2 to 3 years, it will start rusting and it will change its nature. So it will change its nature and its chemical composition change. How means it will react with the oxygen and moisture content present in the atmosphere and it is rusted. So what are the chemical changes? Cooking, digestion, burning, respiration, curdling, fermentation and rusting. Clear about this physical changes and chemical changes? And during a chemical change, the shape changes, size changes, taste changes, sometimes a new gas is formed. Like this, these are some of the characteristics happens or some of the features changes during a chemical change. Now you are clear about what is a physical and chemical changes. In physical and chemical changes, we have learned about the types of changes like desirable, undesirable, natural, man-made, physical, chemical, slow, fast, exothermic, endothermic. Then we have learned about this types of physical changes: evaporation, boiling, condensation, freezing, melting, sublimation and dissolving. And the chemical changes are cooking, digestion, burning, respiration, curdling, fermentation and rusting. In the second unit, you have learned about physical and chemical changes. I hope you are all remembering now, right? What we have learned in our previous classes. Then the next class we can go for our third unit, that is elements, compounds and mixtures. Then after completing these 3 units, you will be having a test. So I hope you all enjoyed today's class. We can meet in the next class. Thank you.